The foundation of the 5,000 Role Models of Excellence project is the work that goes on day in and day out within the chapters in our schools. We're joined today by some of our outstanding site directors, a tremendous principal, and two of our stellar 5,000 Role Model alumni on this episode of the 5,000 Role Models TV show on MDC-TV. We are honored to be joined now by the site director of the 5,000 Role Model chapter at North Miami Senior High School, Dr. Judith Gray, and the tremendous principal of North Miami Senior High School, the home of the pioneers, Mr. Patrick Lakuti. Thank you all for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Dr. Gray, this is your first year, and you've done such an outstanding job as a site director. What do you attribute the success of your chapter?
Really, I want to start by saying that I would attribute the success of the North Miami chapter to my marketing strategy. In the beginning, I was always advertising over the PA system, so the entire school would hear and know about the 5,000 role model. Then, with the school that I'm working at, they gave me this marathon, and I ran with it, all the way from classes to classes, just introducing the 5,000 role model to the young men. And while talking about that, I was really pushing about the scholarships, because I know what drives our students. When they hear about scholarships, that their parents don't have to pay that money, then that was a go. And it is still a go. Now, without the use of the PA system, is word of mouth. This morning, I was about to go on the elevator. A student stopped me. "Miss, can I get a form for the 5,000 role model?" I said, "Just come with me," because I keep those forms right on my desks.
I can personally attest that you have taken the baton and run with strength and endurance, and we really appreciate your efforts.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Lakuti, we try to encourage so many of our young men to consider going into the field of education, and you have ascended to the principalship of one of the best high schools in Miami-Dade County. Can you tell us a little bit about your career journey?
Sure, but first I have to start with my favorite quote. No man is an island. I was blessed to be surrounded by people who encouraged me early on when I first became a math teacher, and then later to go into leadership. And you know, I was an assistant principal first at Michael Crop Senior, then Thomas Jefferson Middle, and eventually resident principal at Miami Norland Senior, and then now and Charles Drew Middle, and now eventually North Miami Senior. I am back home. I was a student there, I was a teacher there, and now I'm back home as the principal of the school. So it's been an amazing journey, and I'm blessed that people have pushed me forward.
And we are blessed to have you there. And you've hosted at North Miami Senior High School for the past several years the regional tie-tying ceremony, where schools from all over the northern part of Miami-Dade County come and they take the oath into the 5,000 role models. What is the significance of that and you all hosting that very important ceremony?
It is extremely important to us. Image is important to us at North Miami, and we are always looking for ways to show positive image, and having all the dignitaries there to showcase the talents of our students. Yeah, the culinary arts students, as you are aware, to be able to serve our guests, to have the stakeholders there. And the setting is beautiful. If no one have ever been to North Miami, I encourage you to come by and see the beautiful campus. Our students are calm, peaceful, and wonderful. Come and see us at North Miami Senior.
It certainly is a beautiful campus. Dr. Gray, how important is it to have the support of your principal and your school administration?
I must first attest to my principal. And I say my because I'm really so proud of my principal. He's a phenomenal person. He has empowered me, and so I in turn empower the young men. in our chapter and still looking for more to join because we are a large school. So we still need to add more to the chapter. Yes, we have grown immensely, but we still need to add more boys. So my principal is very supportive of the 5,000 role models and all the other clubs that are at the school. And I'm just so happy to be a part of the Pioneer family.
Yes. What are some of the activities that your chapter has engaged in thus far?
Okay, we have been blessed at North Miami Senior High. Almost every Wednesday, we have a resource personnel coming to speak to our young men. And the thing is, when they come, they just automatically be a part of it. So I have them reaching out to me, these resource persons, asking me if they can go on field trips with us. I have them reaching out to me, asking me, what do I need? Do you need me to deliver some pizzas to your chapter? Stuff like that. The last personnel that we had was Mr. Williams, Wendy Williams, talk show host, that was her dad, and he was phenomenal. He gave us a lot of history. He was targeting Black history. The boys were amazed, and they had a few questions for him and so on. So we have been very fortunate to have Mr. Williams, to have Michael Thomas, lawyer, to have sports personnel. And we have our very own teachers, too, that were a part of the 5,000 role model that come up to, just encourage our boys.
Right. It's so important to leverage the many resources that are available in the school. Mr. Lakuti, what would you say that the 5,000 Role Models of Excellence Project brings to a school?
Well, you know what? It brings stability. It brings prominence. It brings recognition. It highlights our students that sometimes otherwise will be neglected. We're in the heart of the city of North Miami, and our students are wonderful, but sometimes people may not be aware of the good that happens in North Miami. And I think, 5,000 Role Models of Excellence Project has brought that to our school. And so I'm so thankful the fact that every year you allow us to host, to be the host site. Hopefully we'll get a chance again to do it again this year. So it's been an honor to be able to have 5,000 Role Model to partner with us here at North Miami.
We thank you so much. Dr. Gray, as we close out, how would you define success for the students of your chapter?
Success for my students of the North Miami chapter is graduation. That's what we're leaning to. Every single role model should graduate with at least a 2.5 on weighted GPA. I preach it every Wednesday because I believe in education and in educating our young men.
Thank you so much for your belief and for your dedication and for your efforts. Thank you, Dr. Gray and Mr. Lakuti, for joining us.
Thank you.
Miami-Dade College has career paths in anything you want to be. What's your story? Be global. Be cutting edge. Be inventive. Be investigative. Be a hero. What do you want to be? Be the best. Be you. Be MDC.
We are pleased to be joined now by two former 5,000 Role Model Wilson Scholars from Miami Northwestern Senior High School, current University of Central Florida student Sandruni Fortune, and current Miami-Dade College student Joanne Harding. Thank you all for joining us.
Thank you.
So talk about your journeys with the 5,000 Role Models.
Well, to begin with, my journey with the 5,000 Role Models was very interesting and fascinating. When I initially joined, I didn't really think so much of how much it could impact my life, but being young, you just give things a shot, you just give things a try. That's also what I was learned to do growing up as well. So, but all in all, when I joined, I learned many things. We've traveled to DC a few times, never been to DC. At that time, never been on a plane, so I'm very thankful of that to this day. Also with many of our mentors that I still currently hold in contact with today is also a great thing. And also we learned a lot. The ability to broaden my horizons each and every day and open up my mind to better and new things has also brought me to my character and the way I am today. So I'm highly thankful of the 5,000 role models.
What impact did that kind of exposure, you mentioned a trip to Washington, D.C., role models go on many trips.
Yeah.
What impact did that exposure have on you?
Oh, it was a big impact. So like I said, I never traveled before on a plane, especially to D.C., so I didn't know what to expect. But traveling with the role models it was a great experience, as me being with my brothers, and Jawan traveled with me as well. So that was my first time, you know, getting to know Jawan as well as my other brothers as well. But seeing many mentors and how impactful we are to many people as we entered Washington, D.C., we were turning heads from left to right. Wearing that red tie, it's not just any red tie. That red tie is like a symbol of like brotherhood, partnership, everything, excellence. So it was just very fascinating and impactful to see how much many individuals care for us, how much people was willing to get to know us better as a group, as an organization, as a brotherhood. And it's just very good for others to see and to know that there's a possibility in doing great things in life in general. So
5,000 role models is a tremendous brotherhood. Brother Jawan, what was your experience like as a 5,000 role model at Miami Northwestern Senior High School?
Well, to begin with, I want to start from from the beginning. So I was in the role models from 3rd grade till high school. So it was something I always was interested in. I was just interested in the image of a positive, you know, black male figure in America. So that was something that stood out with me. When I got to Northwestern, I was kind of hesitant because, you know, new school, new environment, new group of people. So it took me a minute to come out of my shell with that as well. But sort of like what Sam was saying, Mr. Anderson was very, you know, he was on top of us, making sure that we were showing up to meetings, making sure we was doing our scholarships, making sure our GPA was on point. So I really appreciate that. And it's still stuck with me to this day on how just important it is to have like mentors in your life, mentors to guide you and, you know, just get you on the right track. And that's I guess giving back to the community is something that they instilled in us, to always give back and be that change you want for your community.
You're currently a student here at Miami-Dade College. How did the
Yes.
5,000 role models help to prepare you for higher education?
For higher education, I wanted to go to university, so, you know, to hear that, you know, I didn't get accepted to the school of my choice, you know, it kind of did hurt a bit. And I did have, you know, everybody has their things about Dade and, you know, community schools. But I realized that you're getting, it's a better outlet. You're saving more money, and also they're willing to help you. And teachers are going to, they're going to stay on top of you. They're, I guess it's not as hard as a university. It's not so rigorous. They're
Well, I don't know, Jawan.
Well,
hey, 2 + 2 = 4 if it's at MDC or Harvard.
right.
And that's coming from somebody. I went to Palm Beach Community College. They call it PBCC. I went from PBCC to a PhD. So it's not necessarily about a title,
Right.
but it's about what you're learning.
what you
And we'll
learn
thank you.
and what-
And we're thankful for Miami-Dade College and the platform that they provide and the education that they provide and the meaningful vehicle of social mobility that they are for the Miami-Dade college community. Sandrina, you're at the University of Central Florida.
yes.
What has your experience been like there, and how did the 5,000 role models prepare you for that?
Well, to begin with, coming from high school, and by the time I was a senior, I was very involved with the role models. I was the president of my chapter at the time. So at that point, I was just like ready to go, making sure I'm ready to go, making sure my brothers are up and ready to attend their university of their choice. So with the role models instilling the manhood in me and just the stability of growth and my hard working all together tied in, it just helped me prepare myself to jump on that next level, that next track, to be able to continue my path in higher education.
Jawan, you get the last word. What is your message to 5,000 role model students who are coming behind you?
for role models that's coming behind me, just continue to push on, continue to keep striving for excellence, never give up on your goals. It's going to get rough, but you know, it's worth it at the end of the line. It's going to be worth it, so continue to push through.
Sandruni Fortune, Jawan Harding, remember those names. They are making history and will continue to make history for the next generation. We are
5,000.
After the break, we'll be joined by 5,000 Role Model Site Director for Miami Palmetto Senior High School, Mr. Michael Reynolds.
Miami-Dade College has career paths in anything you want to be. What's your story? Be global. Be cutting edge. Be inventive. Be investigative. Be a hero. What do you want to be? Be the best. Be you. Be MDC.
Welcome back. We are pleased to be joined now by the outstanding site director from Miami Palmetto Senior High School, Mr. Michael Reynolds. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
What initially motivated you to want to get involved with the 5,000 Role Models?
Just an amazing program. Congresswoman Frederica Wilson's relentless pursuit in improving the lives of young men. My background, I've been working with at-risk teens for quite some time. So I just wanted to, it's only natural to gravitate towards such an amazing program to help improve the lives of young men and just give back to the community.
What initially led you to the teaching profession?
Wow. I've been teaching for 20 years in the educational system. I started out at an at-risk juvenile justice facility. I'm a biology teacher. I majored in biology, community health education, taught sciences there. And just working with the teens, I just fell in love with it, to be quite honest with you.
20 years in the classroom, what strategies have you seen to be particularly impactful with high school students?
In today's times, to be quite honest with you, it has to be tangible. Our young men today, or our kids today actually, they have to be able to feel them, touch them, kind of understand where, you know, things are coming from. That's what I found to be most helpful.
With such a large high school like Miami Palmetto Senior High School, how do you stay in contact with the 5,000 Role Model students and be a consistent presence in their life?
Well, what we try to do at our Palmetto Senior High School, I have my exec board, the leaders of our chapter strategically placed throughout the campus during lunch. We have 2 lunches, so I probably have a couple of my exec boards in the courtyard, the cafeteria, and I'm able to float around. So our members of the chapter they know to meet, find a exec board member, sit down, talk with them. I try to meet with each one of them, roughly about 10 to 15 minutes. So that's what we find helpful at Miami Palmetto Senior High School.
That consistency, that support is so important. And this fall, I was honored to be a part of the induction ceremony that you put together where almost every male staff member at Miami Palmetto was inducted into the 5,000 Role Models. What do you think was the significance of that?
Wow, the impact was powerful. Not only the coaching staff, the football team or the basketball team, but to have every male staff member, whether they taught biology, English, social studies, they were there. And it goes unnoticed to our young men. They realize that teachers are just not robots. They actually are human beings. They can empathize with them. So it's extremely impactful for our young men. And every Wednesday, as a matter of fact, we do have our teachers, they wear their red ties. And if they miss a Wednesday, you'll find a young man say, hey, Mr. So-and-so, you didn't wear your tie this week. So they hold them accountable. So it's a beautiful thing to see.
That is wonderful to have the support of your school. How can the community help support the efforts that you have going on at the school?
To continue to give their time and support, to come out to the school, whether that be through guest speaking. Definitely, as I said before, just something that the young men can touch and feel and be able to know that, hey, you were from my neighborhood, or, you had these obstacles, or, you persevered through this, and they were able to come and be a positive figure in their lives. So that will definitely help out.
What do you see for the future of the 5,000 Role Models chapter at Miami Palmetto Senior High School?
Well, one of the goals we have, we definitely want to improve our member enrollment. Right now, we have a large number of freshmen and sophomores. So I want to keep that momentum, that positivity going. So just to increase our size and our numbers at Palmetto Senior High School. And I have, different ways that I plan on doing so. Like this past year, we had our rush that we had, and we also have our 8th graders who plan to attend Miami Palmetto Senior High School. We were able to send our exec board members out just to talk with them and explain to them what exactly we do at Miami Palmetto Senior High School as a 5,000 role model chapter.
That's wonderful strategies to implement. What was the role of mentorship as we close up in your life?
Wow. I will say my parents, they're my heroes. They were a major influence to me. Their hard work, dedication, discipline, how they persevered, definitely had an impact in my life. And most importantly, I think, too, as well, is who you surround yourself with. I have a group network of people that I surround myself with that we kind of hold each other accountable and, keeps us positive. Yes.
That's awesome. Well, thank you for your hard work, your dedication, and your discipline to the 5,000 role models.
Thank you.
Very much appreciated.
Thank you.
During our last segment, we'll be joined by 5,000 role model site directors, Donnie Felix and Lewis Harold Jr.
Miami-Dade College has career paths in anything you want to be. What's your story? Be global. Be cutting edge. Be inventive. Be investigative. Be a hero. What do you want to be? Be the best. Be you. Be MDC.
Welcome back to the 5,000 Role Models TV show. We're grateful to be joined now by the site director at Hubert O. Sibley K-8 Center, Mr. Donnie Felix, and the site director at W.J. Bryant Elementary Museum Magnet School, Mr. Lewis Harold Jr. Thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us.
So how long have you been teaching, and what initially led you to get involved with the 5,000 Role Models of Excellence project?
Well, I've been teaching for about 25 years, and through the 5,000 role model, I find an opportunity to serve with a purpose-driven goal.
Well, I'll be honest with you, Dr. Bright. This is my 11th year in the teaching profession, and I was voluntold. I got a call from the principal office. She told me to come on down and said, Mr. Harrell, I got an assignment for you. You're going to be the site director of the 5,000 role models, but I enjoy every moment of it, and I realize the impact that I have, so I'm grateful for this opportunity.
So you were anointed and appointed.
Yeah.
So I attended your tie tying ceremony earlier this year, and you had a great number of students and great number of community members involved with the chapter. What do you attribute this to?
Well, I got to give credit to Mr. Gary Pouncey, my predecessor, because, again, I was voluntold, so I want to give him credit for putting in that work. So all I got to do is pretty much maintain. He did the groundwork for, getting those stakeholders and everybody else involved in the program with the parents.
Mr. Phillips, you mentioned a purpose-driven goal. What are some of the goals for the young men in your chapter that you have for them?
Well, the ultimate goal for me is for them to succeed in life. There are many ways of succeeding. We would love for all to attend a college or university, and with this program, we can assure that we can help by providing scholarship opportunities. But I also say that we have different roads to success, and as long as we can lead them, guide them to find their own path and to succeed, I think if we accomplish that, we succeed ourselves.
You deal with a wide range K-8.
Yes.
What strategies have you seen to be successful in that particular grade range level?
It's not easy, but we try to use our older ones to basically be the role models for the younger ones. And one of the things I've tried is by making it a rite of passage, because my second graders, my third graders, my fourth graders, and all of their parents, they can't wait
It's great to see you leveraging the power of peer-to-peer mentorship and that positive peer pressure. What have you seen to be successful, Mr. Harrell, at the elementary school level, where, let's face it, there's a severe lack of black male educators like yourself
Absolutely.
at that level?
One of the things I think attributes to our success is with Mr. Pouncey, Mr. Louis June, and I, the mentors there at that level, was we try to hold ourselves accountable and be the example, because we already know talk is cheap, talk is cheap, talk is cheap, but people want to see this in action, holding ourselves accountable and letting them know how to conduct ourselves and govern yourself accordingly, not just in the classroom, but in life, outside the walls of the school building, wherever you may go. So just being accountable.
It is the 5,000 Role Models of Excellence
That's right.
project, and it's so important to maintain that standard of excellence. What kind of activities have your role model chapters been involved in since you've been at the helm?
Well, I think, to me, one of the most important things is that meeting that we have every Wednesday morning and the topics that we discuss.
Absolutely.
Last week we talked about equality versus equity. And I had to explain to them that at times they may feel treated unfairly. And I said, but that's okay, because we all have different, we're like homes, and we need to build equity in these homes. One student, an A student, may not be treated like the student that's struggling. And do not take it personally. Your teacher will be a little harder on you because you may need it. And if your teacher is treating someone unfairly in your eyes, look beyond that wall and try to understand that maybe there's something about me that that teacher sees that he's trying to get out of me, and allow the teachers to work through you. Allow the teachers to provide that opportunity for you.
Mr. Harrell.
We meet bi-weekly, but in February we've been meeting every Wednesday, and I thought that was critical, you know, with the month and everything that it stands for. So we have those open dialogues, we have those discussions, we talk about life skills and how to conduct yourselves and how to grow and become a man, and, you know, just that challenge of going through puberty and, you know, just certain things that's going to take place and what to look for in middle school, the field trips that we've been on. One in particular this year, not too long ago, just attended Metro West. And a perfect segue was
What's Metro West?
Metro West, oh, that's the jail. That's the jail tour. And we, when we came back, of course, we attended, we completed the assignment that Congresswoman had for us to do, the pre and the post. And then after that, I tried to bring it a little closer to home because I actually showed the 13th documentary, and I broke it up during our chapter meetings. I showed like 30 minutes here, 30 minutes this Wednesday, and another 30 minutes. And we just finished it last week. And they was able to see that, you know, how can I say, this was a new way of just trying to interrupt the school and prison pipeline. You understand what I'm saying? Because letting them know that, guess what, if you don't do well in this classroom, it starts right here, it's a good chance or probability that this is where you're gonna end up. And that led to a whole nother conversation. So,
We thank you so much for your efforts to disrupt the school to prison pipeline.
Absolutely.
Mr. Felix, you talked about equity and equality, and this school district has made a lot of progress, but progress without equity is injustice. And we want to thank you all for being drum majors of justice and guiding the next generation of our young men to a better way of life.
That's right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If you want to get involved with the nation's premier dropout prevention and mentorship program, the 5,000 Role Models of Excellence project, give us a call at 305-995-2451, extension 2, or visit www.5000rolemodels.com. We hope that you get involved with the 5,000 Role Models. Until next time.